Hello everyone, my name is Vikas Dhayal and today we have with us none other than Dr. Rajesh Mohan, AIR 102 in 2020 CSC exam, and he is a friend and he was also the answer writing partner while we were giving the 2020 mains when he cleared the exam, and he's under training in the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Training Academy. So
hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rajesh. As Vikas has already introduced me, I secured All India rank 102 in UPSC Civil Services 2020. At present I am undergoing training, in Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy, and right now I am on my so-called mid-term break when we are allowed to go home, and I thought it's time to catch up with old friends, and Vikas is a very good friend. We have studied together for approximately 2 years. I have done answer writing. We have stayed also very close by in a similar hostel. So it's so nice interacting with him again. And now I'm there to take the questions that he has curated out of your queries, and I would be very happily answering them as much as I can.
So this is a very unique interview because we caught up with Rajesh. We were just sitting taking our lunch, and then we decided that why not take an interview, but he had to go somewhere, so we thought that why not make it in the car. So this is the Delhi journey with CSE topper by Vikas Dhayal channel, and you have a CSE topper here, so I'm going to ask some of the questions that are very famous. So the first thing I would like to ask, Rajesh bhai, you have had a very humble background, and you belong to a village in Haryana, and you have also been allocated the cadre of Haryana in IPS. So please tell our viewers about your educational background and the journey that you have had.
So in many terms, my background is quite similar to you. Mm-hmm. You are from a very I think, what's the name of your village? Mawa in Rajasthan.
Yes.
Very few people would have heard about this name.
Yes.
Same is the case with me. Haryana. Have you heard about the name Bharan?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So even in some maps it's not mentioned.
Yeah.
So I come from Bharan village.
Okay, that is a new thing to me.
So it's in Rohtak district, and within district there are tehsil. So there is a tehsil Maham, which is even more famous than the district itself. And within that, I think approximately 7 to 8 kilometers from the town, Maham town, there is a small village, Bharan village is there. I come from that place. So initially, I would say that my primary education till the level of 7th class, I did from village school itself, from that place only.
Yes.
At that point of time, there were very less CBSE affiliated schools.
Right.
So my father was very particular about getting an admission into a CBSE school. So there was a DAV school at that point of time. So I did my schooling from DAV school.
Okay.
It's no more there. I think because of some issues that school has been removed. Now there are so many CBSE schools in this that area. So after that, because my father is in Haryana government, so we decided that we will shift to Chandigarh, Panchkula rather, initially in Panchkula, and later on when we got government quarter, we shifted to Chandigarh. So then I decided that the education in cities is very costly, but at the same time we are having various government schools. In Chandigarh there is an interesting concept of something called model schools, which are basically government schools only, but their infrastructure is very good, and the quality of teachers there is also very good. So, but there is an entrance exam for that also.
Okay.
Just like all the government colleges.
So you appeared in that entrance as well. So many entrances in the list.
So many. First of the entrance.
Yes.
Like out of all the entrance.
So you must be remembering it vividly.
I remember it vividly.
Yeah.
See, actually, one episode I want to share with you.
Yes, please.
In Chandigarh, Punjabi is a compulsory language.
Okay, so you.
So I didn't know what is Punjabi and Ada, Uda, kuch bhi nahi. I didn't know anything.
Right.
So there was 1 month left for the examination, and we decided that the test would be there
Mhm.
1 month before. So there was a friend of my father,
Okay.
so who told us, but the examination for Punjabi was qualifying only.
Okay, so you had to like CSAT kind of like that.
kind of CSAT. So some working knowledge was needed so that I just clear that thing, because the merit won't be decided by that
Yes,
one.
yes.
So within 1 month I learned some basic of Punjabi, and somehow I cleared it.
Okay.
And
you
I
got into the model school.
16 model school.
Okay.
It's very famous school. If you are from Chandigarh, 16 model is considered the
So
best school.
all the people from 16 model school, all the students, you should be proud. Your alumni is like an IPS of Haryana cadre now. So Dr. Bhai, you became a doctor eventually. So how was
Yeah.
that journey? How did you just go from the government school in your village, Barana, and then into this government college of medical science in
Yeah.
Chandigarh? So how was that?
So after that, when I got admission in 8th, see, my Punjabi was very weak.
Yes.
So till 8th it is compulsory.
How's your Punjabi now?
It's okay. I'm able to understand Punjabi songs very well.
Yeah.
Sometimes recite also. But but one advantage I am having is that if I see any Punjabi line written, I can easily read it. So that's a good
nice.
thing. Plus, I can proudly say I know Punjabi. So
All the
while
Punjabis must be very proud.
so in NPA, they while getting admission, they ask which languages you know.
Okay.
So Hindi, English. So I didn't have the third one, so I said, okay, I also know Punjabi also.
Okay. So 3 language formula working really well for you.
Worked very well. So in 8th, I got decent marks only. Like at that point of time, I think 76 or 80%, something around that.
So that was like an average mark, not
Average
not
mark
a very,
because of Punjabi only, because
Okay.
I got so less there. So
okay.
it.
So still like you were not getting like these days kids are getting 99.
99,
some of them are getting beyond 100 also
Beyond
because of handwriting. So like you were above average student, not.
I was an above average student, and that became more visible after 8th.
Okay.
Because in 10th I got 96.2%.
Okay.
So that was like at that time very high marks. Like in Tri-City, 6.2%.
That is huge. Yeah. That
that
is huge
was
even
huge.
today.
So at that time also, like I think I was second.
That is very
or
demotivating
third.
for all the viewers. You should have not told that. Yeah. So how did you like after 10th? Did you join any coaching? for
See,
CLT?
I am telling you this mark system now. See, I feel that people are getting so many marks. One reason is because of the liberal checking the CBSE is doing.
Yeah.
How can you give 100 marks in an English paper?
This is not.
This is like
This is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. The people are getting 100 marks in English. So how can a person get 100% in an essay?
Right.
In a letter.
Yeah,
It's not a like maths thing.
Yeah.
You can get
the
100.
same people are getting way less than in the actual exam essays, in the UPSC exam.
Because in UPSC we what is the average score? 120, 30,
Yes.
something like that.
Right.
So it's you cannot in a subjective examination. You should not go for 100% marks. I feel.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's demotivating for other people also,
Right,
like who
right.
are. So there is no differentiation. Everybody is getting there. So I got very good marks there, 96.2%. So now after that there are generally 2 options only. I think.
Okay, engineering or like
medical or non-medical.
Okay.
Engineering तो बोलते नहीं medical.
Medical and non-medical, no, it's usually like biased towards medical.
No, it's not about this.
like-
But this is the common phrase that we use.
Yeah.
I don't know
Correct.
what is the phrase in other places, but in Chandigarh it's like medical, non-medical.
Non-medical.
Engineering hardly people say.
Okay.
So उसके बाद I was good in maths. I still remember my maths sir, Jaswant sir.
Jaswant sir, if you're watching, then really big shout out to you.
Big shout out, and he was such a great person. I think he was the best teacher I remember. So in fact he also used to like me a lot, because what he used to do is like in zero period he used to give some formulas like prove the left hand side equivalent to right hand side. I was able to do that very fast, and he used to award some like 10 rupees token, something appreciation.
Okay,
Sometimes
that is huge when you're a child.
It was huge money at that point of time. So he told me that go for non-medical.
Okay.
but I decided to go for medical otherwise, because I thought, see, I will get something called doctor before my name.
Yeah. And
So even
all
now,
of us call you doctor. Your number is saved as doctor. While you are not a practicing one now.
no, not a practicing one, so it's very easy. Otherwise, you have to go for a BA, MA, then PhD.
Yes, right.
So one thing is this, that and even my nameplate,
Doctor IPS Dr. Rajesh Mohan.
Dr. Rajesh
Okay.
Mohan.
For that,
that's a proud thing.
Okay. For that
And-
you went for medical.
Medical and also-
not engineer Dr. Rajesh. That sounds
No,
boring.
engineering also good, but I'm saying that doctor gives a different
Not
feeling.
against any engineer.
Not against any engineer.
So
One was this reason, and second was that, see, in my village there are no doctors.
Right.
So at my point of time, so most of the people are not MBBS, BMS or some other fields. So not like they are also doing good work, but prescription power is only to MBBS doctors only.
Right.
So only they can prescribe.
Yes.
So I thought, let's give it a try. Maybe I may become one of the, like, I think only one MBBS doctor was there before me, and I was the earliest MBBS doctor who got admission in government medical college.
Yes.
Something like that.
So
So I decided ki why not go for doctor, because it was very
And
prestigious
it is
in
a
my
very,
village.
very holy profession.
Very
Honestly, it is
noble
a very respected noble
profession.
profession.
Plus, in my village, very few people were there. So aspiration.
So everybody was excited. Dr. Rajesh will come and
Rajesh.
he'll solve all.
No, not like that. Like,
Yes, I didn't
everyone
know
was, not like that. I'm saying it's like you go for if in an area very few people are pursuing a particular profession,
Yes.
the
So
aspiration for that
aspiration
profession are also there. So I decided that let's go for a doctor, because that seems to be more challenging. If I interact with people from my village, they feel when I ask which what do you think, engineer or a doctor, what should I take? So they say ki in science, if you can become doctor, that would be very good. That
It is
like
difficult to be a doctor in India. And
and
also, like, everybody in your family would be really happy,
Yes.
when you become a doctor. So,
plus there is this thing that is a noble service.
noble service, right?
I have respect for two professions in this regard: teachers and doctors. I think teachers make the future of our
Yes,
country,
yes.
and doctors, like, they maintain the present.
Yes.
People in the
well
present
said.
in a healthy situation. So I decided to go for.
So did you like
this.
those days it was the PMT exam, right?
Those days it was PMT. Now we are having NEET. So I scored very good there also.
So
10.
did you like go for any coachings, or were you in the school?
Yes, I did go for coaching, because that was the culture.
That was the only way of like doing
that
it.
is like.
So all the NEET
but-
students, this is like if you want to become like Dr. Rajesh, you can see his journey.
So there, even now I feel this culture is still there. The coaching culture is there, because I feel the schooling system is not up to date, or I don't know why. It requires a different more. I feel in coaching thing, we need more of a guidance rather than coaching as such. So if we get guidance through other means, that would be far more better, more cheaper, more easier for our finances. Like, we can manage that. But if everybody is doing, and you don't do that, so you sometimes feel left out. FOMO is there, plus you don't know what exactly to do, like which examination to go. So awareness in the public is, as such, in our parents, like in family, is very less about it, anything. So I did coaching there also, and
So then you got into medical college.
Government Medical College,
so-
Sector 32, Chandigarh.
So you were about to be a doctor. So why not like pursue being a doctor? Why did you like switch? Did you practice after completing your MBBS?
Yeah, I did practice. I was working as medical officer for 3 years
Okay.
in Indian Ordnance Factory Health Services.
Indian Ordnance. So you have been connected with the defense sector as well.
Defense sector also.
I remember you used to go to Tihar jail for medical checkups and like.
Oh, that was during Corona time.
Corona times. So this was very noble of the very noble work was done by Dr. Rajesh. He used to stay in our flat, and then he used to go to the Tihar jail to check patients and like.
That was a experience, good experience. I
Yes,
think
I used to see you coming back, and you like more satisfied,
More
like it's
satisfied.
preparing and everything, and suddenly,
during the like when everything was postponed by UPSC at that point of time,
So you used your
and
time.
this was second wave. If I
That was the
recall.
most dangerous
that,
one.
Dangerous, like so much deficiency of doctors was there. I decided I have to do this, man,
So you
because
can-
this
you-
is like in 100 years this is there, so I should be
Yes.
there, because I had resigned from my this medical officer job before that, because my as we will be discussing about my UPSC journey, my prelims was happening, mains was not, like I was not clearing mains at all.
Yeah.
And so it was like first, second, third. For 3 years, constantly I was not getting the mains.
The interview call you were not getting.
Interview call I was not getting. I was stuck at the main stage, and I was in this circle only. Mains, then pre-mains, this kind of thing. No personality.
We'll discuss that, Rajvesh, afterwards.
So after that, what happens is that I resigned from that, and I decided because second wave is there. So I that was my fourth interview, I think. In fourth attempt, I went for the interview. I got 129 marks. Very low marks, but even though we will discuss it later on.
Yes, yes.
So I decided to join as a COVID medical officer in Dihad and Delhi government, and it was very
So
satisfying.
we were discussing that, Rajesh bhai, ki, how did you, like, from becoming being a doctor to when did you think of like preparing for UPSC and leaving practice?
It was during my internship. So the last year after the whole of the theory is done, 1 year is internship in MBBS, where you go to various departments and then you work like 2 months in medicine, 2 months in surgery, then some days in orthopedics, some days in pediatrics, some days 2 months in community medicine, that is SPM. So at that point of time I saw the things, like how the things are unfolding, what is the nature of work a doctor does, and what the nature of work a civil servant can do. So I realized, yes, it's a noble profession, but the civil services is also a noble profession, but it's a wider canvas.
Yes.
Like the kind of impact a doctor can have, it's good, great, but the kind of impact a civil servant can have is like immense. So plus I feel most if you treat a patient, you treat the symptoms only, like most even now communicable diseases are more prominent. So or even say malnutrition is so much
So as a civil servant, you can actually increase the public health profile of
public
the whole.
health profile, and even provide enabling environment, so
Yes.
that this may not even happen. Like if they have sufficient resources to get the right quality food, then why would a person fall to malnutrition? So that's why I decided, yes, I should consider civil services as a career option and try for it. And I decided then only that I will go for this career, and started preparing for UPSC civil services.
So Dr. Bhai, you basically appeared for 5 attempts, 5 long years of preparation. And in the initial 3 attempts, you qualified prelims. I can tell you to my viewers that Dr. Rajesh got marks in prelims which will basically frighten you. In the 2020 attempt, I think 2019 attempt, Doctor got more than 150 marks in prelims. Yes, more than 150 marks. And in the attempt that he cleared UPSC, he was getting about 129. So you were a pro at like clearing prelims. Why? What? Like, people are not able to get 95, 100, and you are getting 150s. What is this?
See,
how did you do that?
As we know now, there is a reason for every right answer, multifactorial. Multiple factors are responsible.
Oh, multiple factors. Okay.
So first factor is that my background only.
Okay.
Like I did medical, during that also MCQ type of questions.
Okay.
So I was very comfortable with writing MCQ questions.
So you had so basically you
I had a knack of
you saying that the knack of solving objective questions help people to basically
help to clear the prelims to a great extent. Most if you see other people who are getting so many marks, they also have some kind of background where
they have sold a lot of MCQs.
They have sold a lot of MCQs, and if they have not sold in previous to their graduation, they have practiced a lot.
Yes.
So through test series or some anyways. So I think it's a knack, and it is because the point is that you eventually realize that answer lies in those 4 options only.
Yes.
So either you know that or you eliminate and find
So
out.
what do you think, Dr. Bhai, like the 4 options you have to choose choose one of them. So like how much part does common sense play, how much part does knowledge play? He is a very knowledgeable person, he is just trying to flaunt that he had as an act, but he is a very knowledgeable person. So
I used to read a lot.
he used to read a lot. He used to like wake up in the morning and like read till he used to sleep. So how much do you think is the importance of knowledge and common sense, and as well as your practice of
Practice, I think there are 3 things are equally important.
Equally
Some people
important.
say that practice is important for those who have not practiced.
Yes.
And this thing, I think the knack of solving it, the tricks,
Yes.
the common awareness, like
So the
some
common sense
questions,
you can-
common sense you can easily solve 10-20 question easily. You can.
Yes.
I think you would agree to me.
Yes.
That if you just think through common sense, environment questions you can easily clear. Like even you have not read it.
Can you give some example?
For example, what is there was a question ki these medical waste, like what are these wastes? I'm not able to remember exactly.
Some kind of medical waste or some kind of plastic
Some
waste.
plastic
the categories
waste,
of it were given.
So they were saying that which comes under this category.
Yes.
And there was a nuclear thing. So you won't be collecting
Nuclear.
the nuclear in some baskets.
So
or
the common
something.
sense comes into play.
Common sense comes into play. Plus, if generally the answer to these questions, like what are benefits of this, would be like you have to think widely, and you will realize that these biodiversity is having so many immense benefits.
So
you
think
broaden
broader knowledge.
And one more common sense I will give an example is that, for example, if there are 2 options within MCQ and they are completely opposite to them, one of them is the answer.
Yes, that is correct.
That is bound, because either one of them is wrong and one of them is right.
Because they are contradictory.
Yeah, they are contradictory.
Both cannot be correct at the same time.
Both cannot be correct. Both cannot be wrong.
Wrong at the same time. So one must be.
One must be correct and one must be wrong. So the answer is from those 2. So you have 50%.
50%, like 50-50.
You can forget other options.
Yes. So that
So
is.
plus you can do elimination technique and all that stuff. Word association can be very great. Like if Chinese weapon system is there, it won't be an English name.
Yes.
Or some.
So this is all common sense.
This is all common
sense. Yeah. Common sense is the master of common sense. I would tell you, viewers. So 5 times prelims, and I can tell you this, that if doctor sits in the exam even today, he will be scoring more than 120 without like being in touch with the newspaper and everything. So I would ask this question to you. What happens in the coaching industry, because current affairs is something that can be prepared all the time. Like if I am running a coaching industry, current affairs is something that basically comes every day, so I can prepare it and I can sell that current affairs to people. While I have realized that current affairs does not have that much importance as it has been hyped in the market. So what has been your process of current affairs preparation, particularly with respect to prelims? So would you like to
see, I have given 4-5 attempts. So I feel the importance to current affairs started with 2014 paper.
Okay.
So that time the UPSC has this habit of shocking everyone, and that time they give so many questions from current affairs that the whole of this coaching industry shifted towards that side.
Yes.
But now I feel like past 2-3 years, if you have a hold of static, the current affairs have played some role, but not that much role as being hyped out. In fact, current affairs, even if they are there, they have some linkage to the static.
Yes.
And this is the point, that the relevance of current affairs. Plus, I want to caution aspirants against the why the approach of going for current affairs is very futile also. It can have side effects also. So how can it have side effects? Is that every day you are getting some material, current affairs material. Daily you are spending
5 newspapers, 5 PIB and all analysis in.
And then you feel at the end of the day, yes, I have read for 4-5 hours. Now I have become an expert, and you become like very कि हाँ मैंने बहुत कुछ पढ़ा है. I have read so much today, and it is helping me in UPSC preparation.
And you feel knowledgeable in some way.
So much knowledgeable a person feels कि हाँ, this current affair topic is going on. I have this. I have read it from 2-3 places. I have spent 4-5 hours on current affair.
So like watching Rajya Sabha TV, Dhruv Rathi, all kinds of people.
All kinds of people, and this creates so much a problem that you are not spending time on the thing that they will ask. They are asking static questions even in mains also. If you see, so they would be rephrasing the thing with a different kind of question, but the core theme would be the same. The static is far more important than current affairs. If you indulge in current affairs, you would have a false feeling that you are reading daily, but you are not reading what the UPSC requires.
Yes.
That's my point.
Right.
So that's the side effect I was talking about of the current affairs.
So Dr. Bhai, talking about current affairs, how much importance is like people ask me all the time on the channel that the importance of newspaper versus the importance of magazine reading. So what do you think, which part is more important, newspapers or magazines?
So I feel that newspaper is more than current affairs.
Okay, so it is also static.
It's also not static, like essay also there.
Okay.
So much elements of essay.
All parts of your preparation.
For example, I used to do one thing that helped me improve my English writing skills quite a bit. Was that I used to read the editorials and rewrite in my own language.
Yeah.
So that's not exactly current affairs. It's current affairs plus you are learning how to express yourself, and that matters a lot in essay also, in GS papers also, like how to frame the questions, how to articulate your point.
So that is why like.
So it's this advantage. The third advantage I'm telling you that it helps in content differentiation.
Okay.
So in mains, especially in mains, not so much in prelims, that in mains, if you have to differentiate your answer from other people,
right?
So for that you need some case studies and all these things, some peculiar case studies like governance examples, some examples. So I feel no magazine is covering that kind of thing. Like they are not giving certain quotes. Excuse me. They are not giving quotes, they are not giving case studies, they are not giving examples, current examples, so that you can get from newspaper and you can go for content differentiation. That's the advantage of
content differentiation. This is a really interesting thing that you talked about, that your content is different from others. Because there will be 10,000 people writing mains,
so,
and because of basically newspaper reading and the subjective interpretation of yours, the content is different in your answer.
You'll get half or 1 marks extra,
right,
in each question.
And you're talking about essay, Rajesh bhai, you have been like one of the guiding lights for all of us. I learned a lot about essay writing from you as well. So you used to tell me this, that from newspaper you build an essay. So like, how did you go about your essay preparation? Like essay is so important. Last year the marks in essay paper, the range was from 80 out of those who got selected. The range was from 80 to 150. So people are getting like somewhere like 70 marks of range in the toppers, leave alone everybody who's qualifying for the interview. So what about the essay paper? How did you used to like so good in essay?
So in essay, I think it should be interesting. It should be interesting to the examiner to read. So that's the basic theme around which we have to answer an essay. That a person should not be like, it's so vague, so misguided. So you should have an essay after reading 1 or 2 paragraphs. Examiner should be interested in reading little more about it. So I think with that mentality in mind, you should go for essay preparation. I used to follow a standard pattern. I think I have discussed with you a lot also. You start with the hook. So something engaging hook that you that attracts the examiner. Yes, it is a little different.
And the quotes, I cannot tell you enough that Rajesh bhai had a quote on everything. He can quote something on the Delhi highway that we are walking on right now. He used to end every answer of ethics paper with a quote, and we used to all get bamboozled that why how come this person has so many quotes, and they must be very useful now that you go out to all these ribbon cutting ceremonies.
So there now I am going for more of Hindi quotes.
Okay, Hindi quotes, right.
So Hindi poems also, they are such an interesting field. Like Hindi poems are awesome.
Yes.
We didn't read so much about it during my school days. So that's a negative point. I think people should read about Hindi poems.
Hindi
They're-
poems are also nice.
So-
and Punjabi poems and all the
all
other languages, Telugu, Tamil, all poems are nice.
Poems and they're nice. So the quotes are very important. Plus, I would add one more thing. While you are using those quotes in essay, you should explain the meaning of that.
Right.
Also, that gives an extra point in essay. So we were discussing about essay.
Essay.
So engaging hook.
Yes.
So with that, it should be attention drawing. It can be an anecdote. It can be an example. It can be a real event.
Right.
And in that case comes the newspaper. Newspaper comes with some interest. Some of the pieces that are written in the newspaper, they start with such a great hook.
Right.
And you should make a list of that and have them listed separately, so that you can use it on multiple places. Like you can use them on theme wise. You can divide them. That yes, if education theme is there, this is the thing that was
Like
there.
I remember you used to take the note of all these better hooks in your book copy.
On my
small diary you used to
small
have.
diary.
And that used to just revise before going to the essay paper.
Before going to, and they invariably fix into those social topics that are asked.
Right.
So you broad topics you have everyone. So that should be a hook. That should be engaging. And then
Rajesh bhai,
spaces.
one thing, sorry to cut you short, but there is something really interesting that is coming to my mind. This guy called Saurav who lives nearby. So he created a huge great hook. So just to explain what a hook is, so I started reading his essay. So the essay begins like that. It was related to something, war is not important, peace is important and all. So he writes that on a certain day, certain evening, people were playing in the field. There were some people who were thinking of going to the movies the next day. Some of them were hoping to play their next football match with the opposing team, and suddenly Russia bombed Ukraine. And suddenly, like, it is the greatest hook. Like you're just reading some common thing, and suddenly Russia bombed Ukraine. So now the hook is the example.
This is the feel that is needed in
that
the
is
hook.
needed. Right?
And one more example. This is a very anecdotal. One more can be very specific kind of hooks.
Yeah.
For example, I still remember I had attempted any malnutrition question. I had prepared this one. That if there is something related to malnutrition, I will start that page 129. I am not able to recollect it because I have not revised. I had written it. Page 129 of UNDP report shows MRI of 2 children. One is malnourished and one is normal. And the MRI of a malnourished child is devoid of neuronal pathways, while that of the other child is very maturely grown. How can we expect that these two people, when they become adults, they can compete with each other? So that is like it is graphic description also.
This is very like,
and
even
very
when I'm
specific.
listening it, I'm just feeling that intellectual goosebumps.
So that kind of hooks we should collect, and that would have a great impact on an examiner. And after that, I personally feel you should tell briefly to the examiner what is going to come in the essay. So this is my personal opinion.
So
People may
you used to follow the general
strategy, because if a person is aware what is coming, so that would be like small. This is can be called some thesis also. Some people call it thesis. So that you tell ki what are you writing it. So what it means that before writing an essay, you should have a structure. Ki I have to write this kind of thing, and then while elaborating, you go for like elaboration of those very points only. So you should tell the examiner what will come in the essay. Second step is that, and third important, that is like in very small trick that can help you increase your 4 or 5 marks in essays, that have great headings. Subheadings of the topics. So like it should be another, like related to policy of present education system, you can always write another big brick in a wall. So something like that, that will catch
catchy phrases.
Catchy phrases you use to as a subheading to various paragraphs. And again, in the conclusion also, like in the last part, you should be seen as well read. through some facts plus futuristic also. So because that is the time we will get marks also.
Right.
So like these three parts are these parts that I mentioned can make a difference. There are multiple other intricacies like how to connect the paragraphs, how to have people should not be lost out while reading. There should be connected. Yes, this person is writing something sensible. This kind of feeling of examiner should be getting when he or she is reading your essay paper throughout the essay. That's the litmus test of a good or bad essay.
Okay, bhai, you really congratulated me on the material that I've created for essay.
And I even shared also.
You shared.
And that is like I feel I think that kind of material is not available in the market as of now, and even other people are also appreciating that one. You have done really nice work there.
So after that, I want to tell all the viewers that a doctor called me and he said that you have made it in such a good way. So I knew that I said that doctor, I learned that from you only. So he said that let's write a book together. So I was like, okay. So we just met today and we thought of we discussed few bits of it. Maybe
let's see how
it materializes, whether it does or not. But we are working on it.
Yeah,
so doctor, the next question is to basically we were talking about prelims. So you were you're a medical line guy, so not a non-medic. You had a good maths in your school, but how was your CSAT? You used to score like 130 or so, right?
Something like that, and
a medic scoring 130.
I didn't prepare much for CSAT because I know what is the trick to CSAT.
What is the trick?
Trick to CSAT is attempting as many questions as possible.
Okay.
Simple trick. If you are attempting more questions, if you are getting an answer of CSAT, there is a 80% chance
it will be correct.
It will be correct. And if it's a maths thing, and you get an answer and it's matching with the four options, this means 99% you are correct.
Okay.
So this is the you should be aware, because you won't get a figure randomly which through a wrong process which will be matching to those four because a figure of maths there are so many numbers. So if you do some probability thing, you will realize that very low probability of this kind of coincidence is there. So if you get an answer, you are going to get it correct also. So attempt as many as questions possible. How is it possible then?
If you attempt a lot of questions, you just need to get like 67. And Rajabhai, let me tell you.
I'm telling you that we have to attempt more questions, but the issue is we are not able to attempt the questions.
Yeah.
What is the solution?
That is what is the solution.
Is the problem.
But you are a genius, like all of us are not.
I did was like from first question only. I used to think my paper won't be complete, and let's do it fast.
So it's like Elon Musk, you were in a hurry.
In a hurry from the first question only.
And you were in a hurry everywhere, yeah. Like when we used to write answers together. So in every 10 marker, you need to give 7 minutes. Rajesh bhai used to write it in 5 minutes. Yeah. What hurry you had?
That I improvised. Till fourth attempt, my paper was like khatam hi nahi. I sometimes used to leave one question, two questions.
Okay.
So then I thought about it scientifically, what can be done, and then I devised certain tricks that helped me do that. I think we can discuss it later. Plus CSAT, I'm telling you, second part is that you start with a hurry that I have to finish more questions. Second part is don't be emotional with the question.
Oh, yes.
See, if you don't
Indian emotional people, what?
Don't say कि ना ये तो निकालना यार. I have to get an answer to this question at any cost. And any cost of time or anything that can cost you everything. So if you are not getting the answer, you move on to the next question and read your passage very fast. So that can be there. Plus, before examination, you should read the common formulas that are frequently used there. So that is there.
So you told. I think you given such a great pro tip, what I call on my channel, to everybody, that attempt more number of questions in CSAT and be in hurry, and this can be applicable to prelims, mains, both the parts, that you should be in hurry from question 1. So Rajesh bhai, you spent a lot of time in UPSC preparation. My next question to you is that you gave 5 attempts. It was a long journey, and you saw many failures as well. A person who has succeeded in like getting good marks in schools and then getting into the medical line and being successful every time, but now repeated failures in UPSC. So how did you balance, like how did you keep your mind sane?
It was very difficult, I'm telling you. There's like I used to feel कि sometimes after 1 or 2 times you feel कि maybe it is a mistake or something like that, things are not happening. But after a time you start doubting yourself.
Yes.
I think everyone gets this thing. And this is a very challenging thing. How did I keep my mind? At one point of time I was unable to sleep.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult for me to sleep, because in the evening, because I used to feel like all my batchmates are doing so great. I'm still preparing for the same
This happens with all of us.
Everyone is feeling that. So then I feel talking to someone who really understands you, like who is not judgmental about you, about this.
Having a person who can be
and like you can talk to that person without the fear that this guy will judge, because in our society the issue is that if you talk speak something of a weakness related that I am having issues, they will say एक तो ये पहले तो ये बोलेंगे ये कुछ नहीं होता है, this is something useless, and then they will start judging कि भाई
ये तो पागल हो
गया. So you should have that social support, like a person,
friends and family. They are basically
friends and family who can listen to whatever you are saying in a very non-judgmental way. So that
So-
can keep you calm,
Right.
and tell, and you are able to speak and tell that
you should not isolate yourself.
not
in other ways. Like
isolate
people are there who will shut themselves into a room and then study.
Then you should be
You should have people
speaking about this issue.
That
And I think it is a responsibility of each and every UPSC aspirant that if in a group also, if a person is sharing, one should give his or her ears. Okay, at least listen to that and not make some jokes, or don't trivialize that.
So in Haryanvi culture, this is really common. Like they do it for fun. They make fun of you. If you fail, they will make fun of you. If you pass, they will make fun of you. And it might affect you mentally.
Also. So
Yes.
I think it's a responsibility of UPSC aspirants, everyone, that be aware of this. This is not a matter of fun. In these cases, you do fun on small things. Some mistake a person has done, enjoy that, have a laugh over that. Other kind of events that we have social, but not in this case. If a person is very serious about his career and is getting failures, and then he wants to share something, be okay to
So
listen.
Dr. Bhai, being a doctor, I feel that mental health of many of the UPSC aspirants, it is undiagnosed, but I think it is not up to the mark. So like being a doctor, what would you advise to like have a good mental health so that you can actually live a wholesome life as well as prepare better? So something on that.
I feel one thing is that this is a reality, that sometimes we even hear of unfortunate suicide by some students.
Yes.
I think war and
there was one
Karol
guy.
Bagh, everywhere, this is Mukherjee Nagar, everywhere, even all the competitive examination, people feel so stressed. Their mental health takes a toll because they are not socializing during this way.
Right.
They're like close to outside world. So again, this is like a serious problem. We cannot give 1 or 2, 3 solution just like sitting there. It's a matter of research also, like how can we find a good answer to it. If those people who really need help, we should have a accessible mechanism for them so that they can get the help in that case.
So medical help if they need, and it is not it should not be a taboo to just talk to like
counselor or something like that. But at the same time, like talking and doing something that increases dopamine, basically exercise, some extracurricular things.
So I
something
remember
like
you
that.
used to go to like play. Used to go for playing badminton just before mains also. So to just to keep yourself calm.
Or you can go for a walk. It's difficult to walk in Delhi, but
Yes.
if you are in some
and it is difficult to like drive in Delhi as well. You come from Chandigarh, the driving heaven, and now you're in Delhi, just driving on those driving hell. So contradictions here. So on a lighter note, this was, and I'm going to ask you quickly about your main score as well. So you have been good at prelims. Are getting like really good marks. Essay as well, and the only stumbling blocks were I think interview for you.
Interview and mains. In mains for initial
3 attempts.
I think mains, one important part is that your optional subject should be good. You get to 50 plus. In mains, you should go for content differentiation and finishing the paper on time.
Content differentiation is the key.
To content differentiation, you can go paper wise, paper 1, 2, 3, 4. We can discuss about it. Like in paper 1, history, that you write in chronological manner.
Yes.
Geographication, put a map, 100%.
Yes. That's what I learned from you. And that's what I told repeatedly on the channel. Put a map, make 12 maps.
As many maps as possible.
possible.
Then if in paper 2 you should mention articles of the constitution.
Yes.
Wherever required. IR, put a map, again world map.
Yes.
And then if in paper 3 economics, use some statistics, some graphs, something to differentiate, some diagrams, some cycles.
I learned this from you, making vicious cycle, virtuous cycle. Like you used to say that
it's very easy to do.
And like Dr. Bhai used to write answers together. And
I think
Dr. Bhai just used to make a vicious cycle, a virtuous cycle out of anything. He will make a cycle.
I think credit for that goes to Shailesh Machara.
Yes.
The virtuous and vicious cycle.
He was the originator. You were the one who used it.
I perfected
like
that.
You misused it to the next.
It's great. Yes. So that is there.
So shout out to Shailesh Machara, AIR 13 from the same answer writing group in IFS exam. So he's doing.
And plus he is also famous for mnemonic exercise.
Mnemonic, and like he is the mnemonic god. We'll be interviewing him soon. So we're talking about GS3. You said that making graphs and diagrams, and then what about security? And you used to get good marks in GS3.
GS3 also, like so GS3 security. I think security, very few topics are there. You have to go in depth of those topics because security is very like input-output ratio is very high, and those topics whatever mentioned in syllabus, very less material is there. You have to search and get some extra material there, and then you can do it in a very good way. So security, you should put a lot of time into,
and nobody
answers.
Focuses, but the value that security has in the paper 3 is about 50 to 80 marks sometimes.
50 to 80 marks.
And
sometime 1 year it is left wing extremism, another year is like insurgency in northeast area.
Same questions are
asked.
This year also the red corridor left wing extremism question.
Same question. Why not make a awesome question? Awesome. You know whatever. Like, you make a.
I remember like we practiced the security questions, and Dr. Bhai used to write it in the fastest way. That how many.
Because I know
the security questions. He used to look at it, and like if it is a 15 marker, he used to finish it in like 7 minutes. And so like he had a good hold over that. In the ethics paper, like you were the biggest inspiration. You still are the biggest inspiration for me to like. You are the level to which I want to touch, because you used to like write so fast, and you used to.
Because it's a lengthy paper.
It's a lengthy paper, and you used to like comprehensively basically answer questions. So any advice for ethics paper?
I think ethics paper, time management is the key.
Time management is the most important.
You should not end up leaving a case study. You have not attempted a case study, then you are done. Like chances go. Time management is very important, and then I think you should initially write the second part and then first part, because first part is static, and you can even in paucity of time you can attempt that thing. So that is one point I will write. Plus use quotes. Plus give what is this relevance to administrative relevance of a particular question that is asked. This can be.
So also about how important is answer writing?
Most important thing is answer writing for mains, because mains is going to decide your rank, not prelims. It's just
yes.
qualifying. So answer writing is must, and I think I'm against that idea of one answer
Every day.
every day.
Every day.
I think it has to be done in a time bound manner, but with like then only you can get this art.
Okay.
Like you can start with one or two, but after 1 month you should not continue with one answer at daytime type of thing. Rather you should go ki either 1 hour mein how many answers we have to write, and we have to write those many answers, or 2 hours or 3 hours, something like that we should go. I think we used to do answer writing.
Yes.
We had this time bound
manner. We used to write like I remember it like 5 questions in 35 minutes or so. So that is about GS answer writing, and
I think we are getting
closer to our destination.
Closer to our destination.
So we'll be wrapping up really soon. But
let's talk about NPA training. I think.
Yes, NPA training we can talk about. Just before that, quickly, can you like elaborate on how did you improve your score from in interview from 129 to 184? This big improvement. What did change in your personality? That like what did you do?
So there was no change in personality. Only thing was that whatever, I think every personality is good personality.
Yes.
Some people say yeah बहुत ही अच्छी personality, खराब personality है. Every person has a unique personality, and you should be able to streamline it according to the need of the examination. So one or 2, 3 things. See from the perspective of examiner, if they are going for interviewing so many people, how can you be good there?
Okay.
So how can you be good there? First thing is be cordial to them. Give a lot of respect. Say thank you, and even if I give you so much respect, you would be very kind to me.
Yes, right.
So they will be kind to you in the examination. Don't create an ego issue there. That if even though you may have given the right answer, don't stick to it. If they disagree, be humble. That's most important thing. Second is that give some time before answering. Like don't jump on the answers directly, and don't make like false facts. See, sometimes in mains we
we used to like bluff
the facts.
India got 108 rank in hunger index even if you do not know.
No. So this you should not do in an interview, because they have access to mobile phone, and if they check it, then
you're gone.
You are gone. And it is not a like this. You can just say I don't know this fact, but some people even say if you don't know the answer of a subjective question, you don't answer it. I feel nobody knows. If there is an opinion-based question, answer that opinion-based question, and it should not be an unwinding question. It should be a simple, straightforward answer you should have. It should not be like people are confused after listening to your answer.
What did you just say? कहना क्या चाहते हो?
मतलब ऐसा हो जाता है. Sometimes we have read a lot about a topic. We
give the GS answer. There are pros, there are cons.
You don't like in 3 lines. You should be able to answer that thing.
Yes.
So for that, one thing you can do is write answers. Like not GS answers. I am saying probable questions, and what would be 3 lines answer to that? That will like make you clear what most important things you have to tell there.
Dr. Bhai, quickly one more question that is being asked like a lot. What should one do after writing mains? On 25th of September, many people wrote mains. I just wrote the mains. So what should we be doing after mains and before the mains results?
I think it depends on 2 things.
Right.
It's a very individual thing. See how many marks, if you have given personality test before, how many marks you are getting there. Spend the time on preparing for personality test in a scientific way. So that's the ideal thing for that, because prelims last 3 months is needed. I think this time prelims would have plenty of time, not like previous corona time.
Plenty of time in May.
So you should not be like that. And second is that I think it also depends at which stage of preparation you are. If like initial days or in the later days, like your last attempt or something. If it's the last attempt, you have no choice. You have to prepare for personality.
But for somebody who's writing like he has attempts and she has attempts, how should be they spending their time?
I think this should be the time if they have done with their this part what are your hobbies, what are this thing, what is the name, meaning. This exercise takes 7 days. What is the meaning of a name, date of birth, ka relevance and everything, strengths, weaknesses. You make a page of it and put it separately, and then this is the time for means.
You
This
should
is time
improve your means.
That's too static. Don't go for dynamic thing. Static thing, you should focus on this optional as well as GS mains paper. That too static portion.
So you are just to sum you up, you are saying that in this particular time, people should basically analyze their mistakes in mains and then try to improve them, particularly the static part, and also they should like introspect about their personality and think about what.
Personally, if they are weak in that,
Yes,
like,
and then
but
probably
they are
was-
getting less marks. For example, in my case, I focused on
Interview. Yes.
and that paid dividends, as you are
Yes,
saying.
that paid used dividends. Yeah, like it's huge. So now we are coming to your favorite part. So let me tell all of you that Rajesh bhai was a bit bulky
Healthy.
when I met him the last time, and he
No,
just
no,
went through the NPA training, basically the police academy training. So what happened to you?
I was 81 kg and now I am 74.5 kg.
Yeah.
So I think this training has transformed. I think this is the best part of police training, that see, I always had this thing in mind that if I get some time, I should work on my health,
Yes.
because it is like increasing the productivity of your life, longevity, also more number of years you will live and enjoy this world. So this was very close to my heart. Plus I also feel that if a person is fit, you don't need a degree to show that he's a fit. Just by appearance you can
yes.
say, this guy is a fit.
Fit,
So I think this outdoor part of NPA training has been really transformational, and they have done it in very scientific way. And most of the people from my academy have lost a lot number of weight, and along with that they have improved on their health. It's not about only weight reduction. You can feel it. You can feel the change.
Strength,
the strength, endurance, everything.
So tell something about the NPA, the police training.
Police training. So
To the viewers.
basic thing is that after this selection we go for foundational course.
Yes.
That happens in Labasna, Mussoorie.
Yes.
So there all the services come. Indian Administrative Service, Police, Foreign, and Central Services also, Forest Service also these days,
Yes.
and All India Service, and then even the DANIX and Group B services also. I think we are short on time. So that is there, and so after that we have in police we have to go to National Police Academy, Hyderabad. There is a phase 1, then district training, phase 2. So right now we are having phase 1. This will go on for 11 to 12 months, and then district training that happens in the respective state for 6 months, and 2 months. So approximately phase 2. So that's the broad framework. In phase 1, focus is on outdoors. You have to wake up at 4:30 because there is something called fall-in. You have to get together in a very proper way. By 5, PT dress. By 5:10, you should be able to reach a place called IPS mess just in front of that. You have to reach there.
So we can wind up the interview
yeah.
for now. We can have a Zoom interview about this particular
part, right.
this part. So thank you, Rajesh bhai. I think in a very candid way, and we are roaming on the streets of Delhi, and we are about to reach our destination. So thank you, Rajesh bhai, for taking out time for our viewers while also driving. And you don't have to be worried about it. But Rajesh bhai drives really well. So no animals and no human beings were harmed in conducting in this interview. And all the very best for for your upcoming journey, and we want to see you just like you did a lot of social work during the COVID times. We want you to be in the role of a police officer, a fine police officer, as well as a fine medic, a combination of both. And all the very best, sir.
Thank you so much, and it
thank
was really interesting for me. It was it was a great experience for me to talk to you, to meet you after close to 6 plus 9 months.
9 months.
So you also keep on working hard. My best wishes to you also.
And
to
about the
those
channel.
Channel also, you it will grow, I think, because you are very technical also in that regard.
Yes.
Plus, I think you are very honest. That is very important. That goes a long way. And best wishes to you also, and those people who are watching. My best wishes to them also.
Yes.
Keep on working hard. Time will come. You will get your dream a post you want, or even if you don't get, you will be a better human being. And there are so many opportunities. You can take those, grab those opportunities, and would be successful in your life. Just be patient, be calm, and be happy. Thank
And
you so much.
Rajesh bhai, please just say that subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe
to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And do join my Telegram channel.
Sure.
In the description below, I'll be sharing it. And thank you everybody. This was my time. I'm Vikas Dhayal with Dr. Rajesh Mohan, IPS of 2020 batch.